is already yours. Even the prayer what I pray, okay, and for that I use the air. The air is used for the articulation of our vocabulary, and even that air is your product. So even when I can't give you my words, what can I give you, my God? And that's when the saint reached temple, and he bowed down in gratitude and said, God, from today my life, my work is an offering unto you. Whatever I do in life, whatever work I'm doing is the offering unto you. That can be the only gift I give you. Am I not
Manish
audible?
Bansal or
Yes, sir.
sorry for disturb Manish Bansal.
Hello.
Very sorry.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Am I audible now?
Audible.
Okay, sir. I'll talk louder. Okay. Thank you for the feedback. Yeah, that's when the priest said, the guru said, saying, my work will be an offering unto you. So no matter what work I'm doing, I'll do it in such a way that people will be thankful for it, and that will be my offering unto you. And that's what one scholar has once said. No, even you, if you are a sweeper, okay, the one who sweeps on the roads, even if you're a sweeper, do it in such a way that once you have swept enough, no person should feel like throwing something on the road. So in Hindi it said, koi dhanda chota nahi hai, dhande se bada koi dharm nahi hai, and that holds good. So when we see our work as God, okay, when we see it as God, we give all our motivation, all our energy to it, and we give our surrenderance to it. That is what God is in professionalism. Moving on to the next point, somebody told meditation, that if you hear about spirituality, you recall meditation, or somebody dhyana, what we call in Kannada. What is meditation now? Meditation in spiritual angle, the definition is losing ourselves in the silence, right? Sitting in this dhyana position and chanting om, or chanting Hare Ram Hare Krishna, or for Jains it is Navkar mantra, it might be some Sanskrit shloka, something, anything, okay. And this is meditation in spirituality. How do we link this to professional domain? How do we link this? I'm taking a pause so that you give it a thought. Okay, so in professional domain, meditation is something different. Okay, meditation is art of losing ourselves in whatever we do, not necessarily in silence. The saints, sages, they lose themselves in silence because they have attained that level. Okay, you would have seen some gurus who can focus on nothing. They'll just keep sitting like this with eyes open and still be focusing on something. So they don't need an object to focus, okay, and we have not reached that level where we can focus on nothing. So what we can do at our levels is, for us, meditation can be whatever work what we do, okay. To give an example, you would have seen famous personalities and their dance and their singing, okay, and this those dancers, that those famous dancers, after a certain point of time on the stage, there's no more dancer on the stage, there's only dance, okay. You'll realize that dancer has completely lost himself in the dance. There's no more dancer, there's no more Michael Jackson, there's only dance, there's only his dance. And similarly, there's so many great personalities who are singers, okay, and even after they have finished their singing, for a few minutes that reverberates, as in that is vibrating around your ears, and that is what is meditation. They have given themselves so much to the profession or whatever the job they are doing, that they have lost themselves, and even when they are gone, we still feel their vibes. That is the power of meditation in professionalism. And next, something else which was written here was motivation, inspirational, okay. How do we get inspired? Now this saints, sadhus in spirituality, they are always inspired, always working on themselves. So what inspires them, and what can inspire us in the professional domain? For this, there is a story again. So the human intelligence, they wanted to draw a pyramid of how, what the life looks like, what is life, okay. So then they came up with this pyramid where the first layer was knowledge, what we learn in schools and colleges, the mathematics formula, the theories, the theorems, physics, stats, all this what we learn, that is the first layer, knowledge. And the second layer of above this knowledge is skills and attitudes. Once we step out of college, we understand this theory is only theory is not enough. We need to know how to apply it. Okay. And that's when the skills and attitudes come into the place. After skills and attitudes, there is a point in time when you dwell a lot into it, you understand it's not always that one rule is applicable for all. Okay, there's so many things which depends on our thinking. Okay, if I think it in this way, this is the answer, but if I think it in that way, that is the answer. So that's when you're first time introduced to this beautiful concept called philosophy, right? So first is knowledge, then comes skills and attitudes, and then comes philosophy. And once you're thinking about philosophy, you can't avoid, but you have to have thoughts over religion, because all the philosophies we know from our parents and grandparents, they have roots from religions. So we can't avoid, but we have to think, okay, Jainism, now I'm a Jain. Okay, Jainism, they ask me to do this, they ask me to do that. How is this true? How is this not? How is it linked to science? How am I bettering with this? How am I getting worsened with this? We start pondering about it. And once you have stepped into religion, okay, it's like you can't talk about a movie without talking about a hero. So you have to talk about God. So the next layer is God. So first is knowledge, second is skills and attitudes, third is philosophy, fourth is religion, and then comes God. So God is the epitome. He's the central force around whom we discuss everything. And then now my question to all of you is, this is some interesting question, and most of you will think this man has gone crazy after I asked this question, because not many people dare to ask this question. In this pyramid where I told all these layers, and the last layer I discussed was God. Yeah. So is this pyramid closed after God, or there is some space and there is something above God, and after that it gets closed? To put it simply, is there something beyond God? Is there something above God or more powerful than God? I want a reply. If you think there is something more powerful than God, just reply with why. And if you think no, God is the final epitome, and then reply with N. There is nothing beyond God. Reply with N. Yes, please participate. We are 22 of us. Please participate. No, no. Okay, no. No, 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 no. Everyone is telling no. God is the epitome. More and more than God. Okay, I didn't understand this, but almost everyone is telling no. There can be nothing beyond God, because that is what we have been hearing from all the years in the life. Okay, but let me deviate a little. I feel there is something beyond God, and that is our faith on God. These are two different things. Okay, I know most of you didn't register it. I'll spend 2 to 3 minutes on this so that this concept is clear. Rama is one thing, and my faith on Rama is completely another thing. Okay, Jainism is one thing, and my faith on that Jainism is completely different. It is immaterial of Jainism. Okay, like the same example, Sabrimalai. So the God is one thing, and my faith on them is completely different. There's so many values I derive out of that connection that is immaterial of the connection itself. Okay, the God Himself. Now, just knowing Rama, there's so many things I learned to myself, saying, okay, if this has happened, probably this should happen, or this is what I understand with this. It's all our perspective, right? So our faith is more powerful than the God. I'll give one more example, by which you will be almost clear why I'm telling this. There's this famous epic Ramayana, what we know, right? Most of us have heard it. If not heard it, we have read it. If not read it, we have seen it in DD during the lockdown, or it's now coming in Star Plus at 7:30. We've all been introduced to Ramayana, and there are two special characters there, Rama and Hanuman. Okay, who among these two is God? Of course, for us, both of them are God. We pray to Ram also, we pray to Hanuman also. But amongst them, who is the God and who is the disciple? Ram is the God and Hanuman is the disciple, right? Ram is the God and Hanuman is the disciple. Okay, but let me ask you one thing. Who could lift the mountains? Who could lift the mountains? Hanuman could lift the mountains, okay? And who could fly the oceans? Hanuman could fly the oceans. Does that mean Hanuman is more powerful than God? His God, Rama? No, doesn't sound valid, right? Because a disciple can never be more powerful than God by theories. And then what does this mean? This simply means that Hanuman's faith on Rama was more powerful than Rama himself. If you have watched, I have not read Ramayana as such, the complete version, but I've seen the complete Ramayana what came in DD National recently. And there if you see that you'll realize even Hanuman didn't know that he could lift mountains until when his god Rama asked him to. Hanuman never knew he could fly so much. He could fly the whole ocean and reach Sri Lanka. Okay, but he did it. All that came to his mind was, okay, my God is asking me to do this. I have to do this. If something happens to me in between, it's not my job. I don't care. My God will take care of me. If the mountain I'm lifting falls on me, I don't care. I'm surrendered. I've surrendered myself to God, and He'll take care of me. And while I'm flying over the ocean, and if I fall down, I don't care because my God is there always to protect me. That is the power of God. That is the power of faith on God. Now, I guess most of you would be clear of how I'm intending to tell it. If not, we have last 20 minutes to discuss more over it. So now this, when I tell our faith is more powerful than the God itself. So we just discussed our God is our work, what we do. And when our faith on our work, now I'm into a business consultancy firm, okay? And when my faith into this practice of mine of consultancy is more powerful than the consultancy itself, it gives me motivation. I don't need external motivation anymore to somebody to come to me and tell that you have to do this, you have to do that. No, I'm internally motivated because I know what it is doing to my life. Just a second. So this is
Manish
how.
ಅವರೇ,
हाँ sir. हाँ sir.
ಧ್ವನಿ ಸರಿ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ.
Okay, I'll be a little more louder.
ಇಲ್ಲ ನೀವು ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಧ್ವನಿ.
Now sir, ಈ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಇದೆಯಾ?
ಈ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಇದೆ.
Okay sir. Okay. Now next concept, what we know, what comes to our mind when we think of spirituality is no money or no greed for money, or greed is too high a word. I'll tell no wanting for money, right? Now how do we link this with professionalism? What is the money factor in professionalism? I'll tell something contradictory. So in professionalism, as in if you want to be a spiritual professional, okay, it's your moral responsibility to be very rich. You have to be rich if you want to call yourself a spiritual professional. I'll tell you how. There is a lot of terrorism activities which is going on all over the world. We just, please use headphones if you want, friend. Okay sir, I'll not move front and back. I'll stay where I am, and I can't use headphones because I'm keeping it in portrait mode. Sorry. Yeah, I'll be I'll be a little louder. Fine. So where was I? Discussing about no money, right? So there's a lot of terrorism activities happening all over the world, where we see there are bombs here, there is attacks there, there's kidnapping here, all that. Okay, what is the one way in which we can vanquish terrorism? Vanquish is completely nullify, nil it off. How can we do that? We have army, we have navy, all that, and that is more on the defending part. If somebody comes and attacks us, or we have a source which says it will attack us, army is there, navy is there, we don't have to worry. Okay, but I'm asking, how do we vanquish, how do we nullify the terror in totality? There's only one way, as per my perspective, and that is making the terrorists poor. Making them poor, so much poor that they don't have money to buy guns, they don't have money to hire people who can make bombs for them, they don't have money to hire even people who can throw stones at police. Okay, when they're so poor, the terrorism has to come down. There is no other way. Okay, and not assuming, it is the fact that official currency is same in quantum, it's same. If the terrorists have to be poor, there's somebody who has to be rich, and that is us. That is how I'm telling. If you want, from next time whenever you're earning, you just tell yourself that I'm doing spirituality, I'm helping my country, because that $1,000 with you or 1,000 rupees with you will do more good to the society than that 1,000 rupees with some wrong person. I'll give you one more example. Say you are walking by the road and you see a 10 rupee note which is not yours, it's just lying down there, and you think idu nandalla, ये मेरा नहीं है तो मैं इसको नहीं लूँगा, जिसका है वो ले लेगा अपने आप, and you walk over, you just pass by, and behind you comes a person by name Osama bin Laden. Okay, and this guy sees this 10 rupee note and he picks it up and he goes to a shop and buys a knife, and then he stabs 5 people. Now tell me, what was better, you picking it up or him picking it up? Though it was not yours, even if you had picked it up, you could do a charity, or you could give it to somebody needy, or you could make some food packets out of it and you could have distributed, you could have done something fruitful out of it, but you let it go, you let it go to a wrong hand, and it did all the destruction it could ever do. Now I'll give you one more example on this which will give you complete clarity. Think of any spiritually aligned organization or spiritually aligned place, Tirupati Balaji, Mecca, or Vaishnavi Devi, Shirdi, any place, okay? Think of any place. And now tell me one place among them which is not rich. Tell me one place. It will astonish you. There's no place which is spiritually aligned organization or spiritually aligned place and it is poor. It can't happen, because of the good that organization is doing, it magnetizes all the financial resources. That's all. It can never be rich, it can never be poor, sorry. Tirupati Balaji, you can't imagine that it is poor. It is so rich because it is doing so good to humanity. It is instilling faith in people, and that does a lot of good to humanity. Talking about Gadag, we have our Puttaja here, and there's so many people who believe in him at a level they couldn't even believe on themselves. Okay, even if they are begging, I'm just giving a escalated example for you to register, and I have known this story personally. A beggar donates to that spiritual organization, that Puttaja's ashram, so because it has benefited from there, that person goes and eats there for free, and whenever he earns something out of begging or out of anything, he'll go and donate it there, and that is the power of faith. Okay, so this is what money can do, and that is why we have to strive to be rich, because with our money we can do so much good. Right, moving on to the next point. Next point is subconscious mind. What is subconscious mind? We recollect subconscious mind when somebody is telling spirituality. In subconscious mind, we should always have good thoughts and all that stuff, right? How do we build it in professional world? Subconscious mind is simply explained as it's a alert what your mind gives us when you're consciously not thinking about it. Okay, as in when I'm walking and I have my briefcase in my hand, right hand, and my right hand starts to pain, I don't tell my left hand, boss, you have to go and take this. No, my left hand automatically goes and takes that briefcase into its hand, and that is the power of subconscious mind, because you have trained your mind. It's just about repeated actions. You've been doing this, and okay, it's set now. It happens automatically. You don't have to put any effort as such. Okay, now how do we link this to professional world? The very best example is the wake up call, what we said, the alarm, morning 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, whatever alarm we set. And then there is this innovation called snooze button. We keep snoozing it, and we wake up at 6:30 or 6:45. At the outer sphere, it looks very simple. Okay, it's okay, 6 o'clock I had to wake up, I woke up at 6:30, no big deal. But you don't know, inside of you there is a habit which is being formed, and there is something in your mind which is starting doubting you. Okay, and tomorrow whenever you want to do some good thing or great thing in your profession or in your business, when you want to tell, okay, I want to employ at least 100 people in this year, or I want to make a turnover of 100 crores or something like this, there is some voice inside you which is telling, what, 100 crores, are you crazy? You can't wake up at the time you have set for yourself. How do you think to control something which is uncontrollable? This alarm clock was very much controllable, right? Then how do you tell yourself that you will make 100 crore company? Because you are not able to control something which is very much controllable by your actions. And that is why we have to always have things in our mind, that in our background things should be right. Okay, and the basic values or ethos or the ethics what we carry, they should always be running in the background in our mind, and that is how we can be alert in our subconscious mind in the professional domain. Going to the next point, I guess we have 8 minutes more. going to the next point of salvation, enlightenment. Salvation is too huge a word. Enlightenment or anything where a person is beyond a level. Okay, how does it happen? How do we link that to professionalism? When you go and check the history of great people, okay, and you just check the history of after this boundary, there's a boundary in everyone's life. After that boundary there's something, and before this boundary there's something. Okay, like the person who was thrown out of the train, the person who fell down was Gandhi, but the person who woke up was Mahatma Gandhi, right? And like this there's a boundary in everyone's life. So what was the special thing they did? And if you see their lives, they were more ordinary than any of us. Okay, Siddhartha became Buddha, Narendra became Vivekananda, and they were more ordinary than any of us. Then what special did they do to attain whatever they've attained? The only thing what they focused on was one extraordinary effort, one extraordinary practice. Like for example, for Mahatma Gandhi, it was ahimsa. He focused and believed so much in ahimsa that for him that was everything. A part of time, it was everything for him. Okay, and that extraordinary practice he held long enough. He held it till his last breath, and that made him extraordinary person. He was more ordinary than anyone. He was earning in dollars, and he was outside India, and he was happily satisfied and settled there. But something struck him, and that's when Gandhi became Mahatma Gandhi. And that is how we could link it to our professional domain. We have to think, always think of what next. Okay, we would have reached a level where there's nobody, we are not accountable to somebody. If you own a company, you're not accountable to somebody. Everyone is accountable to you. You don't have to give your reports to somebody, you don't have to show your diary to somebody, nothing. But we have to keep in our mind there's a higher source to whom we are accountable, and that is how we have to live our life, so that we are always motivated to do whatever we want to do. Going to the next point, no desires. Yeah, so the spirituality generally feels that the many people who have opted for spirituality have left the material world completely. Okay, so at the outset we feel they don't have any desires. How do we link this with materialism or the professionalism? Desire comes out of only two things. There are only two ways in which we get desires. One is when you want to get what you don't have. Okay, say for example, I have a desire to get rich. That means I'm comparing myself with somebody richer than me, and I want to get rich, and that is how I'm desirous about it. Okay, or I'm desiring to lose my weight. That is something I have fat and I want to lose it. So only two ways. One is if you want to gain what you don't have. Two is what if you want to lose what you already have. Only these two can lead to desires. Now linking this with a story, talking about the second epic, Mahabharata. So in this, Krishna and Arjuna are two beautiful characters. In this, Krishna is represented as God, and he's complete. Okay, there's nothing outside Krishna and there's nothing beyond Krishna. Krishna is everything. Now for Krishna, if you technically think, he shouldn't have any desires, because there's nothing outside Krishna. So he can't gain anything. Okay, and because there's nothing outside Krishna, he can't lose anything, because if he has to lose something, that something has to go somewhere. But there's no somewhere also. There's only Krishna in that mythology. So Krishna technically should be desireless. Okay, and because he doesn't have any desire, he shouldn't be working. He should go and aram se he can rest and lead his life. But Krishna chooses to be a charioteer. He works as a charioteer for Arjuna. And it seems when somebody asked Krishna, why are you working when you've reached a level where you don't even have to work for a single minute? Okay, because everything is in you already. Why do you work like this? And that's when Krishna said, my bhakts, my followers don't follow my advice, they follow my example. So if I go and sleep, if I go and rest, they'll think that is the right way to live life, and they'll also go back to sleep. And if I am working, they get a thought saying, even when Lord Krishna, who is complete, even if he is working, what are we? We should also be working. And that is how Krishna, through Mahabharata, told us that no matter where we reach in life, we have to work. It's not that if you're working, you have desire to earn money. No. Sometimes you don't even know whom you are inspiring. Okay, the person, you might even not know that the person exists, and that person is getting inspired only by your words, or maybe your presence is getting inspired. So that is why we have to keep working, and that is how you link it to professionalism. And next, going to the next, we have a few minutes left. Going to the next topic, organized. Yeah. So we see this. There is no hurry burry in spiritual life. If you have seen saints, they don't. They are never in this ambush, saying, "I want to do this, do that in life." No, they have their calm mind. Okay, how have they done that, and how could we do it in meditation? In professionalism. In professionalism, how we could do it is a time for everything and everything in its time, or maybe a place for everything and everything in its place. As soon as you enter your home, it takes only 1 minute to keep your car keys in the key stand, or just throw it like this. It takes only 1 second, 1 second, not even 1 minute. Okay, you can do this. You can just throw it on the sofa, or you can just hang it in the key stand there. But to recollect it whenever you want it back, the time you have spent to put it in the key stand is the exact amount of time you want to take it back. But if you have thrown it like this, then it's a Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. The whole home has to now search for the car keys because you don't know where it is. Then somewhere in between sofas, you will put hands and you will find remotes, you will find combs, and with that you will find the key also. So this stresses us, and this is what builds complexity. And this happens when we are not organized. Okay. One more example for professionals, this applies when we are saving the files on our desktop. Okay, it takes 5, if not 5, 10 seconds more if you want to name it properly. Give whatever name you want to. Put the client's name, put the year, date, or format, whatever format you are following. It takes maximum 10 to 15 seconds to save a file. But what we do is we just save it in the moment to save time, save that particular time, and we name it as AAA, now, or we name it the date. We have no proper format for naming it, and that is why whenever we want to find the file, the time it takes to find the file is more than the time it took to create the file, and that is where all the stress builds up. So if we want to be organized in life, we have to settle some things down. We have to tell ourselves, okay, let it take me 1 minute, but I'll keep it organized, because tomorrow when I want to retrieve it, I want to spend very less time. This should be in our mind all the time. Fine. So I guess I've covered a few here, and there is lot more to be covered. And to conclude, I would just tell, spirituality is very deep subject, and with this I have got a lot of change in my life, and I always try to link spirituality with whatever I do, because spirituality is the highest form of science ever experimented on planet Earth. And even if you all try to do that, it will help us and help you to be organized and be best at whatever we do. With this, I would like to thank and in gratitude, I would like to thank my Guru Mahatriya, who has given me all the wisdom. It's all his, nothing mine. Even the words what I talk, the t-shirt I'm wearing, the frame you see up, everything is his. And I bow down in gratitude to him and to my family, my faculties and firms who gave this motivation to me to reach where I am. Passing on the screen to Pantar sir.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು ಮನೀಶ್ ಬನ್ಸಾಲಿ ಅವರು.
ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.
ಸ್ಪಿರಿಚುವಾಲಿಟಿ ಅಥವಾ ಅಧ್ಯಾತ್ಮ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕೇವಲ ಸನ್ಯಾಸ ಹೇಳಿ ಬಹಳ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಅಧ್ಯಾತ್ಮ ಸಂಸಾರಸ್ಥರಿಗೂ ಬೇಕು, ಮತ್ತು ಏನ್ ವ್ಯವಹಾರ ಉದ್ಯೋಗ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ತೀವಿ ಅವ್ರಿಗೂ ಬೇಕು. ಮನೀಶ್ ಬನ್ಸಾಲಿ ಅವರು ಬಹಳ ಚಂದ ತಿಳಿಸ್ಕೊಟ್ರು. ಐ ಆಮ್ ವೆರಿ ಗ್ರಾಟ್ಫುಲ್ ಟು.
ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಸೋ ಮಚ್ ಸರ್.
ಈಗ ಅಭಿಪ್ರಾಯಗಳನ್ನ ಒಪಿನಿಯನ್ ಟೀಚರ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ.
ಶೋರ್ ಸರ್.
ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಯಾರು ಅನ್ಮ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಪೂಜಾರ್ ಗುರುಗಳು. ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನೋ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್.
ಎನಿಥಿಂಗ್ ಇಸ್ ಫೈನ್.
ಪೂಜಾರ್ ಸರ್ ಭಾರತೀಯ ಜಿಲ್ಲೆಯ ಮಾರ್ಗದರ್ಶನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಪೂಜಾರ್ ಗುರುಗಳು
ಸರ್, ಇಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೆ ಮನೀಶ್ ಅವರು ನಾವು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಸ್ಪಿರಿಚುಯಾಲಿಟಿ ಅಂಡ್ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಷನಲ್ ಇದ್ರೊಳಗೆ ವಿಷಯದೊಳಗೆ ಬಹಳ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ರು.
ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಸರ್.
ನನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಇದ್ರ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ವಿಷಯ ಬಹಳ ವಿಶಾಲವಾದದ್ದು. ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ವೆರಿ ವಾಸ್ಟ್ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್.
ಟ್ರೂ.
ಡೆಫಿನೆಟ್ಲಿ, ನೋ ಡೌಟ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಇಟ್. ಸೊ as far as possible, sir, you have explained very nice, taking some examples.
Thank you, sir.
So what my personal feeling is, every individual in his profession, whether he is a class 1, class 2, class 3, class 4, so just by understanding the importance of spirituality, if he cultivates that habit of spirituality, definitely he will be having a very clean profession.
Perfect.
A very nice profession in his life. So that is my opinion about spirituality. Actually, spirituality is essential in every profession.
Exactly, yeah.
So of course, some may be not interested in that. So practically, we should make the person involved in that aspect and make them to lead a very happy life, so that it will help to their family and also to their personal life. So that is my opinion.
Thank you so much, sir.
ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕಲ್ಲೂರ್ ಗುರುಗಳಿಗೆ ಅಭಿಪ್ರಾಯ ಹೇಳಬೇಕು. ಕಲ್ಲೂರ್ ಸರ್ ಅವರು ನಮ್ಮ ಶಿಕ್ಷಕರಾದ ಉಪಾಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರಾದ.
ಸರ್ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ಮನೀಶ್ ಬಂಕಾಲಿ ಅವರು ಸ್ಪಿರಿಚುಯಾಲಿಟಿ ಇನ್ ಅವರ್ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಷನಲ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀವಿ.
ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು
ಸೊ
ಸರ್.
ಈ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ಡೈಲಿ ಲೈಫ್ಗೆ ಅಳವಡಿಸಿಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಸ್ಪಿರಿಚುವಲಿ ಅಂಡ್ ಮೆಂಟಲಿ ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು ಅನ್ನುವಂಥ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ನೀವು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಸಮೇತ ವಿವರಣೆ ಕೊಟ್ರಿ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಮೋರ್ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ಫುಲ್ ಫಾರ್ ಆಲ್ ಇನ್ ಅವರ್ ಡೈಲಿ ಲೈಫ್. ಇದನ್ನ ಅಡಾಪ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಸೊ ಹಿ ಮಸ್ಟ್ ಬಿ ಅ ಪರ್ಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಇನ್ ಹಿಸ್ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಷನಲ್ ಅಂತ ನನ್ನ ಅಭಿಪ್ರಾಯ.
ಟ್ರೂ.
ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಾಯ್ತು. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ಫುಲ್ ಟು ಆಲ್. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.
ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಸೊ ಮಚ್ ಸರ್. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.
ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಉಡುಪಿ ಮೇಡಮ್, ಮುಕ್ತಾ ಉಡುಪಿ ಮೇಡಮ್. ಉಡುಪಿ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಮ್ಯೂಟ್ ಅನ್ಮ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಅನ್ಮ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ ಮೇಡಮ್. ಹೇಳ್ರಿ ಮಾತಾಡ್ರಿ.
ಕೇಳಿಸ್ಕೊತಾರೆ ಸರ್. ವೆರಿ ಫೈನ್ ಅನಾಲಿಸಿಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಸ್ಪಿರಿಚುಯಾಲಿಟಿ ಬೈ ಮನೀಶ್ ಬನ್ಸಾಲಿ. ಐ ಫೀಲ್ ವೆರಿ ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ.
ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.
According to me, spirituality means being true to oneself, what I think.
Perfect.
Whatever profession we do, whatever work we do, we should be very true to ourselves, what I feel.
Exactly.
Whatever, it may be teaching or it may be marketing or it may be whatever.
Correct.
But being true to our work.
Yes.
So that is spirituality, what I feel. So Kayakave Kailasa, what I say.
True.
So
Thank you,
you know, salvation, that's all is different. But doing right things in the right way
Perfect.
is the essence of spirituality, according to me. So
Perfect.
thank you.
Yes.
Very fine analysis.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Girish sir.
Thank you. Next, that person Patil. That person.
Hello sir, a very nice talk.
Thank you, sir.
A very thought-provoking lecture by Manish. Work is worship and ಕರ್ಮಣ್ಯ ವಾದಿಕಾರಸ್ತೆ. ಈ ಎಲ್ಲ ಅಂಶಗಳನ್ನ ಮನೀಶ್ ಅವರು ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ವಿತ್ ಆಲ್ ವೆರಿ ಥಾಟ್ ಪ್ರೊವೋಕಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟೋರೀಸ್ ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮೂಡಿ ಬಂತು. ವಿ ಆರ್ ವೆರಿ ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ವಿತ್ ಹಿಸ್ ಲೆಕ್ಚರ್.
Thank you.
Thank
so much. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Next, Badri Joshi. Joshi sir. Left pass. Modak sir.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir.
ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತದೆ ಹೇಳಿ.
Indeed, it was a good talk. And, I thank Manish Bansali ji for throwing some light on spiritualism as well as the professionalism. The surprising thing over here is when Mr. Bansali joined, I could see so many people from his own community joining this group. Okay, this is called as being united, right? And that's the reason the so-called Jains or Marwadis have to conquer the business world. It's an appreciation. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Well, anyway, see, in my view, if we have to imbibe spiritualism to profession, then we should be able to distinguish very clearly between need and greed.
Perfect. Amazing.
Okay, in case if we are greedy, I don't think so that we will get into the concept of spiritualism at all.
True.
Okay, so as long as we are able to put out that line between the need and greed, I think mostly all of us can get into spiritualism and get that concept to the profession, and somewhere down the line we would be able to contribute towards fight with whom the organizations are living and organizations will live ever.
True.
Thank you for a wonderful talk.
Thank you so much, sir.
ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಅಕ್ಷತಾ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಇದ್ದೀರೇನ್ರಿ? ಅಕ್ಷತಾ ಸೇಠ್ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಬದ್ರಿ ಜೋಶಿ, ಜನಾರ್ದನ್ ಮಾತಾಡಿ. ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ಅದ ಟೈಮ್ ಎಷ್ಟಾಗಿದೆ ಮೋಡಕ್ ಸರ್?
Sir, time ಆಯ್ತು 6:51.
ಸೊ ಮನೀಶ್ ಬನ್ಸಾಲಿ ಅವರು ಬಹಳ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ರು.
Thank you, sir.
ಮತ್ತೆ ಅಧ್ಯಾತ್ಮ ಅಂದ್ರ ನಾ ಬರೀ ಅದು ಸನ್ಯಾಸ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಸ್ಪಿರಿಚುಯಾಲಿಟಿ ಇಟ್ ಅವರ ವಾಕ್ ಆಫ್ ಲೈಫ್, ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ಬರ ಇರುವಂತದ್ದು ಅಧ್ಯಾತ್ಮ. ಸೊ ಅತಿ ತಗೊಂಡು ಹೋದಂತ ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ರಾಮಕೃಷ್ಣ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಒಂದು ಅಧ್ಯಾತ್ಮ. ಸೊ ಹೈಯರ್ ಸ್ಪಿರಿಚುಯಾಲಿಟಿ, ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಸಮಾಧಿ ಸ್ಥಿತಿ, ಸೊ ಹೈಯರ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ಮೈಂಡ್. ಸೊ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಒಳಗ ಹೋದಂತವ್ರು ಮತ್ತ ಅವಷ್ಟ ಹೋಗ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ, ವಿವೇಕಾನಂದ ಸಹಿತ ಅವರು ನಿರ್ಮಾಣ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ವಿವೇಕಾನಂದ ಇಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ದೇಶ ನಮ್ಮ. ಸೊ ಸ್ಪಿರಿಚುಯಾಲಿಟಿ ಇಸ್ essential in every walk of life.
True.
For everybody essential. So I'm grateful to Manish Bansali. So Modak sir ಶಾಂತಿ ಮಂತ್ರದೊಂದಿಗೆ
ಶಾಂತಿ ಮಂತ್ರ. ಜೀವನೇ ಯಾವದಾದಾನಂ ಯತ್ತಥೋಧಿಕಂ ಪ್ರಾರ್ಥನಾ ಅಸ್ಮಾಕಂ ಭಗವತ್. ಸರ್ವೇ ಭವಂತು ಸುಖಿನಃ, ಸರ್ವೇ ಸಂತು ನಿರಾಮಯಾಃ. सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। नमस्ते।
So Mandana